Okay, the mic was off. Now it's on again. Yeah. So here's my to-do list. We've got a character select screen that we have to make. This is a Monday thing because this is going to take all my attention. The rest of what we have to do is things that have come up as a result of adding the new faction. I say adding a new faction, I mean we had a faction. We had 2 factions already, but the enemy faction wasn't playable. Now it is playable, and the playable faction wasn't usable as an enemy. Now it is usable as an enemy, so that's nice. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna go through. We're gonna go through. Where's Orko? There it is. Orko, yeah. We're going to just blitz through this to-do list. Okay. So the first one is sorting out Lightning Blade. I'm going to put these 2 and change Storm Cloud to Thunder Strike, like a big heavy AoE strike. I'm going to put that at the bottom, and let's do something more fun. Let's make our Orc hero. So what I want to do is take our green beans. So let's find characters, green beans. So this is where we've got all the sprites for our orcs. This one, have I even used this one? I don't remember him. I can't remember what that one was for. Never mind. I really like that one. The dimples there, the blood on the teeth, and then the kind of... I like it. Okay. Proper orc hero. So what we basically want to do is take this guy and copy it over. So I am going to save this, and I'm actually going to make a new one called Heroes. And then we are going to delete all of these. It's a bit scary because, yeah, we 100% do still have we 100%. I'm just going to double check. The thing is, if it, you know what, if it's gone, I can still just re-import it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so we need to. We're making an orc hero. I'm just concerned that I don't want to remove. Because I'm deleting all of these. This is definitely not the version that has them. That's a different version. Those will be kept. Okay. So, what should our orc hero look like? We want him to look like a sort of nice archetypal orc. I haven't actually put much thought into this yet. I mean, there is a character in Blacksmith called Orko. Let's see if I can find some images of him. So I'm just going into my folder here. Projects, Blacksmith, assets, sprites, enemies. Do we have Orko? Do we have characters? Heads? Heads. Have a look at that. Dear oh dear. Okay, do we have another one? Heads 2. Heads 3. Oh, we should have him here. There he is, Orko. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't look exactly like your average orc. He's got a bit of something to him, right? So he's got pretty much the same eyes, the same nose. We could sort of give his nose a bit more prominence. So yeah, I'm just gonna get a nice look at that, and I will be putting that on my second screen. How are we doing for... Let me just make sure that... Yeah, need to get the proper resolution on the screen. Okay. The orc. And yeah, we've got our viewer here. So first thing we should do is give him a haircut, and I generally put hair on the second layer. There's no real reason to do that other than convenience. But yeah, he's got kind of like that. And for the 100 or so people who played Blacksmith, hopefully they'll enjoy this reference. Okay, let's get this hair right. And then that big spiky hair. That's not good. Okay. Then if we just went in now and coloured that into a nice dark sort of a green. Yeah, that's something. Maybe it should come down the sides a bit more. Is that good? Like that. Okay, I think that's a good look. That line's a bit straight, so I kind of just want to just like make it a bit. Like that. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then we've got our little bits inside, so let's get our even darker green, but not quite black, and we can kind of do more spikes. Yeah. So we're really selling this sort of spiky hair. Messy, spike, like not too formulaic, and kind of bring these up a bit like that. Just kind of finish those spikes into the hair itself, and then we end up with this nice kind of messy hair thing, but with some form to it, and then we can kind of shade the corners a bit, and yeah, we can make each of them look quite spiky if we kind of just do a little bit of shading there. Let's make it look a bit sharper. This is good. Who likes watching drawing on live streams? Who likes watching speed drawing for YouTube videos? Okay. Alright, so it's got a bit of shape to it. You can probably do the same sort of thing down here. It just kind of makes them look a little bit, the spikes look a bit more spiky, doesn't it? Okay. All right. And now, like, I'm okay with him looking mostly the same as the other orcs, but let's give him a bit more of a prominent nose. So let's go back to the face, and let's just make it more prominent. In fact, let's just redo it. Like, it doesn't matter if it looks basically the same. I just want to redraw it. No, like, still hard, like down, like that. Is that good? And then the eyes are like, yeah, let's do those like triple. He's got kind of like a 3-pronged eyebrow. Works quite well. And they don't need to be symmetrical. Yeah, okay, so he's already looking a bit different to the other ones, and then the teeth would be like, so I don't really want to have to redraw these, but if I could just like, how can we make him feel a little bit more like this guy knows what's up. He's not just a mindless orc. He's got a little bit going on behind the eyes. We could sort of, so let's smooth that out a bit and redraw that. So he's got a little bit of a less sort of intense frown there. Like he's not a friendly orc. It's not like he's a goodie. It's just that he kind of knows what he's doing a bit more. He knows when to restrain himself, when he can control his emotions a bit better. Is that an improvement? Yeah. And so let's redraw the jawline. I do like, or the cheekbones. I do like those cheekbones, but let's see. Yeah. Should we give him a bum chin as well? No. So, okay. So this one has a beard. So first, let's just redraw this. I'm going to make a copy so that I can kind of reference the old one, and I'm going to get rid of his mouth and redraw it. And we'll go with, turn the onion on. Yeah, so like is that good? And that straight line, I'm not a fan of it. It should sort of come out a bit more. I kind of almost feel like, to really give this guy character, should be more like, I think that's crap, but we can fix it. Let's get that same yellow. I just want to quickly do a bit of that shading just to kind of see what it's like. No, that looks crap. He kind of... Yeah, he sort of lost something there. Let's quickly shade that and see. That's just like less good. Okay, so let's... let me think. What's a good way for this to look? I think I'll just sort of try and attempt to draw the same mouth again. Okay, there's something to that. And we still got the beard to do. Should we keep the beard? Yeah, let's keep the beard. I don't know. Let's see how it ends up looking. What if we had like stubble? No. Okay, we'll do the beard on like the hair layer. Yeah, there we go. I am not going to overthink this. I'm going to say this is probably fine and kind of move on because I can always change it later. I just want to have him different and we can just change the placeholder sprite. Okay, and so now let's attempt a beard. I don't know if orcs with beards is actually a good idea. It sort of seemed to work for Orko. And yeah, I would like to maintain that reference. So yeah, those cheekbones go out the window. No, come on. So I want to copy basically this and paste it here. And then that'll do. Alright. Yeah, that's got a kind of look to it. Although I wonder if it was just better before. It's like he's the hairy orc. So, like, is that actually better? I think not. Let's give... yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go with it. Let's give him a beard. And some nice strong shading to it. I feel like that pattern looks weird, so I'm going to kind of try and break it up. There we go. Yeah, okay. Okay, so there is Orko. Cool, yeah. Export. To characters, heroes. Then we need to take characters. And I just want to be able to copy. So yeah, we'll do all the import stuff. So that is a sprite. Let's make it a multiple. 32-bit. No filter. Apply. Sprite editor. And luckily the size. There we go. The size will be sort of automatic here. And all I need to copy is this number. Right. Like that. Okay, and then we'll grab our prefab. Okay, and we already increased the scale. So this, he's an orc. How big is a normal orc? 1.5. So this guy should be 1.5, 1.6, I guess. Okay. And then what else can we say about him? We need to do his ultimate ability. Oh, yeah, HP, yeah, it's the same as a normal hero. I don't know if we should beef that up a little bit, maybe we could say he's even slower than normal characters. I don't think so. I don't think that would be fun to play as. So next thing is the ultimate ability. What have I got listed here? So sprite, prefab stats, ultimate. Yeah, so ultimate. So we have, if you are Sean, do Sean's one. If you're Beanie, do Beanie's one. And I guess what it would be is like, okay, the language can be universal, but I guess he's going to say something in Orcish, like Lord of the Rings, Orcish. It's reading up on the Black Tongue of Mordor. Okay, so like Tolkien Orcish language translator. So I said, hello, I am an orc. This is what I'm using. Nash, I am Grog Orc. So I am wasn't, so Nash. So we could say for the orcs. Uzrogai! Okay, that's good. Nice little reference there. If you know any Orcish, you'll be like, oh, I'm glad. I don't know if that's an issue, but if I get a cease and desist, I will cease and desist. But I'm pretty sure you can use a made up language. So that's his battle cry. And so here's what happens. So what Sean does is he spawns like 3 of each ally that he has. And Beanie causes a rain effect. And we've already got rain effects kind of defined. So in this case, I think all we're doing is we're going to use the buff system to temporarily give him some stats. Improve buff attack speed. So we'll just give him a new buff. New buff. And it will be, and I'll name it Ozog High. The stat is attack speed. And what do we call that? So I can go and have a look in here. Attack speed. It should be alphabetical. Attack speed X. Yeah. It should be alphabetical, and it should also be homogeneous, so I can just guess it easier, but this is fine. Okay, value is like, so this would be, so we multiply attack speed by a certain amount. So usually this would be 0.2, 0.345. So that would 0.5 would increase it by 50%. But because we want it to be like a good chunk of time, let's say it's 4 seconds at like, if it was 1, it would be double. So if it's 10, and yeah, for a short period of time, bang, 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 bang. I think that would be fun. So false Time is 4 seconds. Is that too much? We'll see. And sprite is null. Okay. That should do it, to be honest. It's very simple. Plugging into the existing bus system, because then it will automatically undo itself after 4 seconds, so that is adding a buff. One of the simpler things to do in the game. Wow, there's no one watching. Hopefully a couple people are watching after. But no one is watching live on stream. That's a shame. Okay. Right, so we have his ultimate, his prefab stats, and his sprite. Cool. Balancing level 2 enemies. So here's where we are. If we want to balance a level 2 enemy. So we want to make it so that a level 2 gets an enemy buff, which will increase their stats. It will double their HP and increase their size. So again, enemy buff. So it makes the max health will be doubled, and their size will be doubled. We can always tweak that if needed. So this HP is going to be increased by that number. And yeah, they'll drop better stuff. I need to go and double check just before I forget. Need to double check that they are level 2, the priest and the shield bearer. Yep. Yeah, I did that. Okay. But that means now that enemy orcs that spawn, enemy level 2 enemies, so this would be the brawler, the drummer, see level 2? Yeah. And the... Oh, I should do this for the bard as well. Not the bard, the bannerman. So each side has like 3 level 2 types of units. Okay, so this means that the orcs, brawlers, and drummers don't need their HP quite so high. The spawn interval can also come lower. And so 100... So yeah, so a human soldier starts with 20 health and it goes up to 50. And we're saying that we're going to double this. So if we want to keep the balance as it is, then we want this to be half in each case. One drummer and brawler, half, because it will get doubled in the stats. 60. It also means that my friendly orcs will be a bit weaker, and that's why I increased their spawn rate a bit. And hopefully that doesn't mess with balancing too much, but this was inevitable that we would mess with balance a bit as we added other factions. Okay, make all projectiles more visible. This is interesting. So, yeah, there are situations where projectiles just aren't visible enough for my liking, and there should be a fairly easy fix. So we will go into effects, projectiles, and basically all of these would need a bit of coloration, right? So like the bow the boomerang. Yeah, it's just a bit tricky though, isn't it? So like, for example, this would be slightly higher in the layer, which can cause all kinds of other problems, but bear with me. And this would end up being a bit bigger, but the pivot is wrong. Yeah, no, I think the best thing would actually be to just change the Piscal file. So can we do that? So we will save this, and we will start editing sprites, magic effects, projectiles, sprites, projectiles. And so, we don't even have all of them. Because some of them are just using the weapon sprite. Okay, that's interesting. So, actually, I think naturally by the fact that so yeah, I'm gonna kind of roll back on what I was thinking here. The only one I had an issue with that didn't look very visible was the boomerang. So you know what, I think it's fine. Let's see if it becomes a problem later, because they're just sort of naturally more visible. Okay, are projectiles disappearing when they hit a boundary? Let's find out. So projectile. It's time to reset this. Are they? That's the question. So, on trigger. Yeah. I don't think so. So I'll keep that question up. Okay. One thing I did, because I thought this was choking performance, was I made fewer XP gems, so we can return that to like a nice high number, and then while I'm at it, I'll search the whole project for GameObject.find, because we don't ever want that. That's fine. That's fine. It's just like these are just one-offs. Fact. Yeah, that shouldn't be like that. Where's that? Yeah, no. That's a vestigial from before I improved things. Because this is an expensive thing to call. Leaf button is fine. Projectile. Yeah, so we don't need that. GM. Okay, yeah, let's fix this. This is going to throw up a whole bunch of errors. But the thing is, I changed the way that we call GM. So we need to find all instances of GM and make it gm.c. Not all instances, just the ones that aren't static. And obviously the ones that haven't already done that. Okay. Right. So yeah, we've done our Orcish translation. I kind of want to translate more stuff into Orcish. Be like really fun way to like shitpost with people or something. Okay, increase XP gem pool amount. Cool. Check all green bean combos. Right, yeah, so there was an issue, and I think... Oh, and the weird thing that happened that ruined my day was, for some reason, when I picked rations, it picked rations 4 times. So prereqs. I want to go through each prereq in the aux, so in tier 2, and make sure they are correct. So to make a guitar, axe and drummer makes sense, and I'll have my reference open, and I'll just show you that briefly. It's my Miro board. If you've been following the streams, you'll have seen this before, but it's a really useful design thing. I have tried to find offline versions or like other versions, but nobody does it like Miro. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I just think it's brilliant. So I'm going to be looking. So what I can do is say, here's an upgrade, and I can easily find, by clicking on the arrows, I can the points. I can easily see what have I designed to be the parts that make up that combination upgrade. So guitar is indeed axe and drummer. Grenades is indeed boomerangs and throwing and tomahawks. I'm going to update that here. It says throwing axes. I'm going to call them tomahawks. Okay. Shrapnel axes is indeed tomahawks and glaive. Throwing whirlwinds, whirlwind blade and range. Lightning blade, scimitar and chain lightning. You know what, if it's not like goblin launcher is bow and goblin, I love goblin launcher. Spiked shield, plank and machete. Unless it's obviously wrong, I'm not going to check it against my thing. In fact, I'm not sure any of these are going to be wrong. I think I was confused by the site of... I was confused when I saw... Let's see, a meteor rain. That's already changed. Yeah, in fact, we don't have Blizzard and we don't have Meteor Rain anymore because I very recently changed them to Space and Time Magic, which I think... So Blizzard is not there, but we have instead Storm. Did I delete that yesterday or something? No, because it's a new one. We put it down here. So Bloodlust doesn't exist anymore. Storm is attack speed. Well, that's not right. Storm is attack speed plus Shaman. And Blizzard isn't a thing. Except, so we need to think about this. I think I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to get rid of Storm. Right. I'll just close it from within here. I'm going to get rid of Storm and get rid of, and Bloodlust we've lost as well. And we're going to take, and that one is attack speed is AoE plus Shaman. Wait, that was Meteor Rain. AoE plus Fireball. And Time Magic is attack speed plus Shaman. Shaman? What do you think? That would be a shame if I was saying it wrong. Okay. Reign of Chicken, Dagger Provisions. So yeah, what I can do is double check that these are matching. Yep. Rations and Orc. Is that right? Rations and Orc is... We changed it so it's Shield Provisions. So it's a bit dated, this. Shield Provisions... Yeah, so we changed it from item collect range to luck, and we changed shield provisions is luck plus loot goblin, and reign of chicken is rations plus crossbow. No, we've changed it to be rations plus armor. See, this is where it's complicated. So yeah, dagger. So we have spiked armor, which isn't spiked armor anymore. It's wolf armor. Wolf armor is armor plus club. With, of course, Morningstar being a different combination. Dagger provisions is boots plus warg. Reign of Chicken is armor plus rations. Okay. We can change it later if it's wrong. I just want it to match and to have... I just want it to match what I've got in the design page. Shield provisions is grabber. No, it's not called grabber anymore. It's called luck. Luck and loot goblin. Chain is, of course, range plus AoE, same as before. Space, so we wouldn't even need to change it. Arrow shower. Do we still have arrow? We still have arrow shower. Okay, we might change that for both factions, so that would be crit rate. Ah, okay. We have swapped, yeah, crit rate plus Goblin Ranger. Wait, where is Arrow Shower? We go Shield Provisions, Chain, and then we go straight to Space Magic. In fact, that should be... So let's just get this right. Okay, Chain, Arrow Shower. No, Chain, Time Magic. Make sure the order's the same as it is there, so it's easy to kind of track. It's Time Magic plus Shaman. Arrow Shower is crit rate plus Goblin Ranger. Space Magic is AoE plus Fireball. Let's call that Fireball here. It's called Fire Staff in the design thing. So that kind of still makes sense. Lifesteal is damage plus Brawler, and Permanent Marker, which increases the damage of everyone in the army as if they were always marked, is Bow plus Mark, which of course for humans it's Spear plus Mark. For the humans, I know all of these off by heart, and I want to get to that point with the orcs as well. It helps me develop it. Okay, so we have all of this working. And so yeah, these don't happen anymore. Bloodlust and Storm, all talents at the moment are shared between factions. They just have different upgrades. They have different components. Okay. Wait, that's my Steam library. Roguebook is a good game. I played it a while ago. I was just getting some footage of the trailer for a YouTube video. Okay, so Bomber. is Goblin plus boomerangs. Yep. Wayfinder is Goblin Ranger plus plank. Yep. Warlock is Shaman and Scimitar. That can't be right. Warlock is Shaman plus Scimitar. Okay, I guess it is. Totem, Drummer plus Boots. Glutton is Loot Goblin and Rations. Yeah, I like that one. Warg Rider is, of course, Warg plus Luck. No, that can't be right. Warg Rider is... yeah, except it's called Grabber here, so it's a good thing we checked. Grabber used to be increasing the range of your ability to pick up items, but that's kind of boring. I don't think it's particularly useful in this kind of game. Chief is Orc plus Axe. Yep. And Blade Master is Brawler plus Whirlwind Blade. Makes total sense. Okay. I'm going to assume that the weapon ones are working fine. Okay. Check all green bean combos done. Okay, rations bug. So what went wrong with the rations? Oh, and I think... okay, yeah, so a couple things we need to test. So let's go into character. Because we want to fix... now we've got this rations bug. I'll get rid of this for now. I'll just point it out if I see it again. Because as far as I could see, there's nothing that's caused... that they projectiles shouldn't be disappearing when they hit a wall. Maybe it's that they would get stopped there. But the thing is, like, if we're on the ramparts or if we're on the bridge, I would like to see the projectile keep going. Because, you know. So I guess, actually, let's well, that's fresh in my mind. There's an easy fix for that. There is an easy fix for that. And I just had an idea. So if you remember from a previous stream, I actually recently got rid of this wall thing. See how my brain just keeps going in lots of different directions. Okay, one thing at a time. I wanted to check the... I wanted to check this. So we look at the walls. Start with the bridge. So let's switch that on. Show our gizmos. And so our things... okay, yeah, so projectiles should be going clean over these. But what if we just made damn sure of that? So the scale is 1. What if we just made that 0.5? Would that still stop them? Yeah, that works. And we'll do the same for ramparts and just see if that causes any other issues. So then what should happen is the projectile should go cleanly over them. But it should still stop the characters. And I think we want to bring back we want to bring back the returner. The returners. So yes, the script says don't spawn things, don't let anything go out of this range, but also we do want we do want this setup where we have these returners. So that's a shame that I deleted it. I don't know what would be quicker if I go into. So let's turn this back on. I don't know what would be quicker if I went in and found the script where I did that before, or if I just make it again from scratch. I think it's probably actually, funnily enough, quicker to make it again from scratch. Left, right, back, front. Okay. So yeah, basically I want to bring back these returners. So yeah, I think just for clarity, because I could just do it again, but that's only if I like remembered it off by heart. So I am going to look into my most recent backup, and I hope that it's in there. So we go Warbeans, assets, return, no, scripts, no, returner, no, it must have been in an even older version. So it's about time I did a backup anyway, to be honest, or even a newer version perhaps. Returner, no, okay, that's going on the list. Do backup. So this returner issue, yeah, so if an enemy appears outside of, if anything appears outside, like out of bounds, so what we have is we have beyond each invisible wall, we have a, let's say 20, but then the center is, it would be nice if we didn't have to move it. So yeah, let's try that again. So if we have this, but the center is 20, no, the center is 20, but the point of origin, so yeah, minus 10, that should work. So this would be our catcher. Like that. And God, it's a bit tedious. Wait, what have I done? It's a bit tedious, but let's do this. What? No, stop doing that. There we go. So we make it 20, 10. No, don't do it on that. $20, 10. Okay. This is 20 minus 10. Okay, and in each case, these can be triggers, and they can be a bit taller as they were before. All right. Okay. And this would have because the alternative is that the way that characters end up outside is because they get hit by knockback, right? And so if the alternative would be, okay, well, every time a character is knocked back, then check if they're out of bounds. But I think that's too expensive because characters get knocked back all the time. And so if I'm like sweeping attack with a bunch of dudes, that's just going to call this little frame that says, this little thing that says, am I within bounds? If so, then return me. Yeah. The issue is, where do I put them after that? Like, so if a character gets knocked off the edge, I guess, like, should we just delete them if that happens? Right? Is that easier? We just return to pool, don't drop anything. Let's do that to begin with and see if it's bad, because it would feel really bad if your allies, or even if the enemies, got knocked off and then just disappeared and you don't get the XP. But the alternative is like putting them back. But the question is, where exactly back do you put them, right? I guess you would. So if it's like a left wall, you would say if they end up off the edge here, just return, make their. So if we come off this edge, then just. And let's say they came off here, we would say make their X position the X position of this, but to the right. Okay, yeah, that works, actually. That works. Okay, so returner. Okay. And yeah, new script returner. In my lovely, lovely scripts folder, which is very organized. Okay. So, on trigger, enter. I'm just going to copy, just to double check. Just going to look at another on trigger, enter. Yeah, on trigger, enter, other. If other dot get component character not equal to null, and then we just ask this. Okay. Okay, so if character isn't null, and we will have different types. And I'll just make that an int. If, and I'll just say clearly, so 0 equals left, 1 equals right, 2 equals top, no, back, 3 equals front. And I just need to make sure I'm giving it the right type. Okay, so switch sorry, I should know how to do a switch case by now, but actually so we go switch. So for many years I didn't do switch cases. I just did like a for each. So switch case, or like if statement spaghetti. Switch type case 0 colon something break. Okay, so character dot transform dot position equals transform equals new vector 3 and it would be, so this is the left side, and so someone walks in here, so their Z position should be the same as it was before. Character dot transform dot position dot Z, right? The Y position should be the same. Let's just make that this by default, just in case for whatever reason it's not Y anymore. Just don't change their Y position, but their X position should be transform dot position dot X plus vector 3 dot right. Vector 3 dot right is that. Transform dot, oh, it should just be +1 then, yeah. So where I am, +1. And then the reverse of that would be left, right. So case 2 is right. And this would be the same, but we move a bit to the left instead. And then back would be very similar, except character dot, so it would keep its X position, but the Y position, the Z position would be, so we've hit the back wall, so you need to come back a little bit, -1 on your Z position. And finally +C if you've hit the front wall. That should do it. That should do it. So we'll know this is, and it will be instant. I mean, we could do like a move towards, so it's a bit smoother. We'll see. We'll see. And we might need to like change the numbers a little bit, because I feel like what could happen is someone could walk into this and it would keep bouncing them. Let's just so let's make a constant, and this constant is like 1.5, and in each case, right, 1.5, just because I'm just worried that like they'll end up going back to a position where they're still touching it. Right? Because if they have a very wide hitbox, like what if this happens to a giant character? It will move them there, and then they'll still be entering it. But then would that re-trigger the on-trigger enter? Maybe not. I don't know. Well, let's just see how this goes. And we can modify this offset button as we please. And yeah. And let's be very kind to the garbage collector, assuming this might happen a lot of times. Private vector 3 pos equals character dot transform dot position equals pos, and then in this case pos. Yeah, that works, I think. Just so that we're not making... Wait. Yeah, so it would be pos equals pos dot x equals that. Pos dot y equals that. Just so we're not making a new vector 3 each time. Like I'm learning. Okay, and that's what it should look like. And then move the character to that position. So then. So unfortunately I've had to write this twice. This is me not being particularly good at programming. But I'm learning. And I don't really care. One day, I can hire someone else to program it for me, hopefully. Or I'll just get so fast that it won't matter. Yep. Okay, and I need to make sure that I am... Zero. Each of these has a returner on it. And the R is 1. B is 2. F is 3. Okay, and we can take these. And we will need to put them in the other levels too. Except they'll be in different spots. It's quicker to just move them. So it's mostly the same, except the right one needs to be at 2.2K. And the front and the back ones need to be much bigger. So we will get their position to be, what is it? I should just be copying from, so 800 and 2.8K, right? Okay, yeah, those are fine then. And then finally in the planes, and it's very, 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 very unlikely that anyone would ever see this, but I would like for it to work as intended. So if we are in the planes and somehow, for whatever reason, somebody decides that they want to go all the way to the edge in the planes, then we have you covered. And there's really no need for this, but just to be thorough, lovely. What if someone gets knocked outside the four corners? Then we I don't know. If that happens, then leave a negative review and refund the game. Okay. There should never be any problems of characters falling outside of the bounds of the world. Okay, so the next thing we need to do. So that wasn't on the list, but now we just have a few things left on the list. And I just want to start by testing these things out. So I'm going to go scenes and title screen. And I'm going to go into my cheats on my character. Cheat. And one, I would like rations, please. Just to see if that breaks it. Got level up. I would like also to test lightning blade. Is that what it's called? Is there a better name for that? What was the one? Chiddery, right? But that was like bird chirping or something like that. Lightning blade. What was the name of Sasuke's sword? I'm not going to call it that. I just can't remember. Sword of Kusanagi. Kusanagi. It means grass mowing sword. Okay, but is there like could I do? Well, no, because we don't want to do the Japanese thing. But like, let's go back to our Orcish translator. Wait, hold on. Is this Lord of the Rings Orcish translator? I don't know if Tolkien Orcish translator. So this is fun. So like lightning blade. I bet this doesn't work. Skagnazg. Okay, yeah, 100%. That's what it's called. That's what we're calling it. So first we'll put it here. 100% that's what we're calling it. And every time I'm going to have to copy paste this A because I don't know where to find it on my keyboard. Lightning blade. And we're going to do a full find and replace. We're going to do a full find and replace throughout the whole project. And we are going to call it Skagnazg. 100%. Yes. Do not care. Give me that. So then all instances of Lightning Blade are going to be called Skagnazg in every language. Okay. Can we do more shit like that? Throwing whirlwinds. I just think that would be really cool. I don't want to overdo it. And I don't want to have to change all of them back. But like at least the tier 2 stuff. Shrapnel axes, like Morningstar, Supreme Glaive, like these are all fine, I guess. Let's not get too crazy. Let's not get too crazy. Let's leave it at that. Skagnazg. What do we think of Skagnazg? Right. Skagnazg. So, if I press It's still going to be called Lightning Blade here. Hopefully that doesn't cause too much confusion, but... okay, and we've got projectile... Yeah, character, cheats, give me Skagnazg, and give me Storm Cloud. Is that it? Yeah, so this is a weapon. Storm Cloud. Well, Storm Cloud I definitely wanted to change, so I didn't even need it, but just because the... Well, let me see. Let me think. So it causes like this lightning storm, but that is quite a nice visual if we actually have the lightning cloud there. Let's keep that as is, so I'm going to delete this off my list. The lightning blade, I just need to test how that works, because the way it should work... What did I write down? Need to do the chain effect after a melee attack if there is one. So what it needs to be is the character needs to swing the sword, and I want to see the full effect of the sword swing, but I also want to see a chain effect, which currently I don't think the engine is set up to do. So weapons. So if we look at Nazg, so it has a chain effect, and it's got the lightning chain effect, but it is also a melee weapon doing damage. And one thing that has happened... Okay, so attack type chain. Type chain attack. So this is what chain lightning does. And what I might need to do is just kind of add the melee effect to this chain attack rather than the other way round. So rather than what I wrote there, it's like need to add the... Oh god, it would be so cool if everyone who gets hit by the chain effect, by the breadth of the sword, chains lightning onto a nearby enemy, so that you would sweep across and like you could hit like 5 enemies, which would all cause a chain lightning. It is nearly 3 o'clock on Friday. This might be a Monday thing. I just want to see how it looks at the moment, because at the moment it is just going to look like a short range chain attack that is quite high damage. Need to add the melee effect on chain type chain type attacks. Okay. And yeah, so for today, the plan now is to so let's see what happens with this rations bug. So if I get rations, why did that add 4 times? No idea why that would happen. It might be talents in general adding for the second faction. So yeah, I really need to look into that. You know what? I just realised something. This is another Monday thing. Weapon swing animation should be wide, like slower and wider. Because they're sort of going and it's fine, but actually, wouldn't it be cool if it was like whoosh? Okay. There we go, there we go. Rations. Okay, what's going on here? Why did that get added twice? Okay, so what's happening there? So this is a very odd bug. Very odd bug indeed. So if I get copies of a upgrade that I already have, it doesn't replace the old one. Okay, so that's the bug. It's not rations, it's new. And let me just double check that this isn't happening for wait, I have an idea. I think I know what's up here. I think I know what's happening actually. So copy prereqs. Okay, yeah, it should be. It should be deleting the old prereqs. So yeah, and I just want to double check before I investigate too much and start messing with the code. Is this also happening with humans now for whatever reason? It's going to be confusing. Humans fighting humans. Okay, so crit rate. No. Humans is happening as expected. That's normal. Interesting. So why... Why is that happening? Yeah, why is that happening? Whoa. Because I can't really do a proper test run if this is happening. Oh. Okay, so what we need... So it's the same thing where we're saying the upgrade that we're replacing is just like the first one we find in the list. This upgrade is the first one we find in the list. So then we remove that upgrade, and if it's a weapon, we get rid of that upgrade. If it's an ally, we destroy the old one. And let me check. So we are successfully... like getting rid of the stats, because we don't... It seems to have replaced the buff over here, which tells me that we are indeed removing the buff. But this upgrade equals upgrades.get upgrade s. Upgrade in character dot my upgrades. Yeah, so wait, so debug.log removing this upgrade. Like that. Yeah, so I want to make sure that it has attempted to remove the upgrade. I mean, it's definitely gotten that far because it has indeed removed the buff. Wait, did I pick Orko? We're definitely in need of a new one of these, so that'll be the next thing. So we've got attack speed. Removing attack speed, yeah. So it got this far. Okay. I reckon it's saying remove that, but actually my upgrades doesn't contain this upgrade, so yeah, we just need to do a for each upgrade in character.myupgrades if upgrade.names is equal to S and upgrade.faction is equal to player.faction faction.name is equal to player.faction.surface equal to the faction we're playing as. Then equals okay, but we can't call it that, so we'll just call it U. That's allowed. That should do it. Let's test. If that's correct, then so if it works now, then that was what the problem was. Did we deal with all the game object.finds? Okay, yeah, grabber. Okay, well we don't, that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, this should work. This should work. Skagnazg, I like this. Okay, moment of truth. Did I fix the bug? I mean, so what we could do actually to like make this easier, sorry I keep jumping out, but it would be like, so get upgrade would be, we would have another one, right? That would be name string faction. It would be like that. And then we could just do get upgrade. And then put the faction name in as well. So it'd be like... Where was I? Character GM. Yeah, apply upgrade. And the old one would be, so instead of doing this, we would go upgrades. This upgrade equals upgrade.get upgrade s player.faction.names. Then we do it in one line. That would be the correct way to do it. Okay. And yeah, I should go back and sort out the old ones to also use that method, but like, let's see if it worked first before I start making it proper tidy. play on the easy mode to start with, and if it works, we'll just continue. Got some families home. I don't know if you can hear them. That's nice background noise. Okay, let's. Well, no, we need to test it. See if we get rations. Ah, for God's sake. Yes! It worked. Yes, that works. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Right then. Okay, let's see how far we can go with this. And then that will be the end of today's stream, I think. And I'm expecting better performance. I'm expecting this to work. Although I don't know if the game is balanced well enough. I feel like Orko, I don't know if he should have orcs as allies. I mean, I don't know if Orko is the guy. Orko is just a character from the game Blacksmith. So it's probably more likely to be like a secret character or something. Yeah, I do love me some shamans, I have to say. No, protect the shaman. Protect the shaman. Protect him. Get away. Get away. Good. Yes, yes. Zap them like they tried to move from their spot. I would say a very good tip for playing this character that starts with an axe is one of the first things you should get is a quicker melee weapon. Oh, some rogues, come here. Yes. Good. Yeah, let's go like full melee bastard. Lost a few friends there, not sure why. Probably just the usual nonsense. Nice. Come at me. Yeah, I'll take one of these. Haha! Yeah, I do love me some chain lightning. See if I can get Skagnazg. I would love that. Alright, yeah, let's get this. Because it's not going to crash the game. Wait a sec. I think this is probably... That's interesting to know that we can just totally spawn goblins as enemies. So, enemies spawner. And if we are looking in goblins, so pack2. Where is it? Where we are at? About 2 minutes. We are looking at. There it is. There's the problem. Add to list. Soldier. And Berserker. Okay. I'm going to keep on going with this run just for the sake of time. It will get confusing, but, you know, it's fine. It might sort itself out later as well as we get past the 5-minute mark. Okay, yeah, give me the brawler. Chicken! Yeah. It is fun to, like, find the combinations. And yeah, I guess I probably have, like, the mental energy to think about doing a much nicer combo animation similar to Ball Pit. They kind of really go in with it. And I'm using the exact same style as them. I came up with this before I played Ball Pit. Because yeah, a lot of the fun in both games is just discovering the combo upgrades. That's the most fun thing, I think. And yeah, hopefully now that we'll have additional factions, it means more combos to discover. More heroes means like more ways to play. Lovely. So far, nothing's appeared outside. That's kind of to be expected. Wait, who had a shield? Why did I hear a shield? Oh, someone must have been a shield there. And yeah, why am I not seeing many priests? Are they just dying too quickly? And where's the bannerman? Oh, I think I know what's happening. I think they're minuscule tiny. That's what's happening. So when we spawn a level 2, so we go to enemy buff. Because they're definitely there, but they're invisible, and I think... Aha! Oh no, yeah. What's the issue? Because original size times 2. And then... Huh. One thing is that when this... I don't actually expect them to ever lose the buff. Although, yeah, they'll lose it on death and then get it back again, but... Max health... So, why can't we see them? So if I find a priest here... So one of them must have spawned. And yeah, the scale goes down to 0. So where is the original size? Okay, so why is original size? Yeah. So what if... Okay, but then in that case... So let's try that. So we'll go... So yeah, we'll have to start this run again. Just want to try out Nazca. Skagnazg. Did I get Skagnazg? No, I think because my weapons were full. Okay, well... So if that's the case, then if I have space magic, so again we will look at space magic, then that is also doing original size. That's buff.value. Is it because original size is getting determined somewhere else? Yes, it is. Aha, okay, that's the problem. So when we spawn an enemy, so yeah, it should be happening. That's original. So this is the one where we actually make it. Spawn enemy, yeah. And where do we actually make it? I mean, no. So on ally spawner, original size. Okay, no, something's wrong here. We need to determine the original size at a better moment. Friday, I'm tired. Okay. Original size. So yeah, original size. What if it's in the awake method? Let's just try that. So it will only happen. So this is not like on enable. This doesn't happen whenever a character is switched on. And we'll actually know immediately. Just by looking at, seeing if their original size has been set. Okay, apparently it has. So if I do, so I'm a bit bigger and all my goblins are a bit bigger. And they have more HP. Okay. So I believe that should work then. Wait, what was the buff with null name? Never mind. Okay. Right, now let's do a run. And see how far we can get. Level 1 difficulty, because to see if it's possible, see if it's too easy, too difficult. Difficulty 2 is kind of supposed to be too difficult, unless you're kind of, unless you know what you're doing. Yeah, the axe being slow means you need to think a bit more carefully. Okay, let's get our brawler. And let's kind of stay with him like he's our buddy. Try and keep him alive. Well, that's not going well. spawn interval doesn't seem to be making much of a difference. Check that spawn interval is working. Character check. Spawn interval. Oh, you know what that might be? Is re-importing the assets on character. Let's count. So from when one spawns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then goblins. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's what. Okay, let's. What's the goblin spawn interval? It's 4 seconds. Yeah, I think that should be working. Okay. Let's see if we can get a bug-free run as the Orcs. I don't mind if the balancing's a bit off. What I'm concerned about is that it functions. And I don't know if we're supposed to start seeing priests and shield bearers now. Priest at 2 minutes, yeah. So we are not quite at 2 minutes, so we should start seeing them soon. Now, priests and shield bearers. Okay, there's a priest. But the size is not changed. Why has the size not changed? What is it? It's the size and the max HP. Okay, yeah, so the HP is working. That's double what they usually have. But why is the size not working? Is it getting the buff? Transform the local scale equals original size times 2. Debug.log transform local scale. And I shall have to do that next time. I mean, I don't really mind if the size isn't too big, as long as I can see them and the HP is higher. So functionally it's going to be the same, so we will not take that as an excuse to stop, to restart. Okay, let's taste man flesh. We have orcs and... yeah, let's have orcs and brawlers. Just to see if that's OP. Ha ha ha. Yeah, the bannerman is appearing, but again, they're not bigger for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, give me the weapon. Since this guy's special is to do with having weapons, it would be good to have 5 weapons. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that out. I'm still like walking towards the goblins sometimes, thinking that that's the enemy. Takes a while. Okay, let's get chain lightning because I like it. And yeah, look at this guy carrying so many weapons. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, that is quite fun, crashing into a big pack of them. Yeah, I mean, shield feels wrong. Like, I don't think orcs should have shields, maybe. Okay, something that combines with the goblin. I'm gonna cheat. No, I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna get, because I want to eat the goblin. I want to turn the goblin into something that is not an ally to make space for something else. Although I don't really care. Let's just get chain lightning. Ha ha ha! Come to me! Yes! Oh dear, no, 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 leave me alone. Yeah, brawler, let's go. Let's get our goth mog friend. Ha ha ha. Okay, we're at 4 minutes, almost time for the loot goblin. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. Club. If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join my club. Fun. So one strategy here is just to kind of get behind them so that all their projectiles go a different way. And especially when I'm close to leveling up, just take the hits for the baddies, for my allies. It's still weird seeing orcs and not attacking them, but yeah, look at me moving with my horde. This is what this game is about. This isn't Vampire Survivor, this isn't surviving, this is moving with your horde. And it is, I have to say, it is quite fun just moving in a single direction. Okay, Flaming Death. See, this isn't actually that useful for a character that doesn't set enemies on fire. And if we don't have mages, but, you know, okay. Chance to gain mana on allied death. Allied melee weapons gain 20% damage in AoE. That's great. So I've got all these melee weapons. That's going to be really powerful for me. Okay. Let's get this show on the road. No! Ha! Okay, so we need to make a list. Because damage can remove the character from the list, right? So go list, character. So we need to make like a little sub list. Bombed equals new list character. Bombed dot add character. For each character in bombed character, and then we put that there. Okay, that will fix that. Can I just carry on regardless? It might cause a few bugs, but hopefully nothing too crazy. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, this is fun. Okay, yeah, and so the post 5-minute mark, things do calm down a bit, but yeah, here we go. Some humans with your bannermen, they will not protect you. Ha 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 ha. I think it's just inherently fun playing as orcs. I usually don't, but just like... Ha 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 ha. Come here. It is fun fighting big packs of melee as well, because they can't really chase you, or they can't hurt you if you run away. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Yes. The horde is coming. And it's interesting because the orcs are generally slower, my horde is moving a bit slower as a whole. And that's quite interesting. Oh, Blade Master, let's do it! Yes! Okay, then... Yeah, okay, so I'm going to modify... Okay, modify... Like nerf spawn interval for chief for tier 2 green beans at least level 4 ones. Because that is going to be way too many Blade Masters. Blade Masters are supposed to be like mini bosses, and that's simply going to be too many of them. But you know, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy being OP for a while. Like seriously, these guys are just gonna rip through the enemy. Look at that. Yeah, this is gonna be ridiculously OP. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. There's a Gandalf. Get the Gandalf! I mean, get the legally distinct wizard. Let's go with Glaive. Okay, I'm really keen to try out my ultimate ability. Oh, it's going to kind of suck if his ultimate ability knocks people back. So, oh, what's going on now? Did we just get another bomb or something? Oh, can I see... What's the problem? And who's that happening to? Is it the Lord? Does he have like something wrong? No, because this one... So it's when we're getting rid of an old upgrade. Okay, yeah, alright. Because we're getting rid of an old upgrade. But sometimes, some upgrades don't have factions. So we want to look at... So this is where we kind of might have to do a bit of spaghetti here to fix this. So if... Because yeah, if we're replacing an upgrade with one that doesn't have a faction, but obviously it didn't have a problem with it didn't have a problem with yeah, it didn't have a problem with the like, because the error would have come up here, because it would have said, "What do you mean, player faction name?" Oh no, the player.faction.name has a name, but then if so, the problem is definitely here, because the player faction is always going to have a name. But if the if upgrade, and wait, so this is when why would this be happening? It's because we've applied an upgrade, and I don't know who we're applying the upgrade to, but it's probably a character that has a weapon that does not have a faction. And replacing, and because, so probably like I think it's because Bannerman level 2 has arrived. This is what I think is it. And it would happen anyway. So Bannerman level 1 with his level 1 banner, not a problem because it doesn't have a prereq. But Banner level 2 has the prereq of Banner level 1. And so it's going to say, oh, well, if you've got Banner level 1, remove it, because you've now got Banner level 2. So what I need to say is, so it shouldn't be a problem if the upgrade doesn't have a faction, then there's not going to be anything to remove. The thing is, this is bad spaghetti. This is bad spaghetti, but like, because I'd be like, why would we ask this? If upgrade.faction is not equal to null. Like, what if we did want to just, like, upgrade a character to another faction? Then it would be, like, simply this. That's not too bad. Okay. That is gonna break the run, I think. That is likely to break the run. Oh, but I can at least... Yeah, and it's happening again because we're spawning Bannermen. But at least Uzrakai! Okay, that's not working though. Why isn't that working? I'm going to just assume it's because I didn't type a float. Okay, I mean, we might find more bugs. And I kind of want to close the book on this. And yeah, why... So did I put a... Is that correct? Attack speed X by 10. Yeah. And enemy buff. And we are going to ask what is the local scale. So like what is And it might be that we fixed that. So let's just try these things out. Okay. One more time. And then I'm done for the weekend, I think. Let's see how this goes. I'm just trying to keep my goblins alive for as long as possible so that they can kind of get a bit of a swarm going. Okay, let's get our orc friend. Okay, yeah, the orc goblins are spawning a bit quicker. And yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a real challenge to just keep working on this balance so that enemies are spawning at the right speed. So that it's balanced. Like, yeah, orcs are stronger than humans or goblins, but they spawn in a bit slower. Does that work? Is that balanced? Is that functioning as intended? Yeah, I'm just going to pick all the weapons to begin with. Like, lots of weapons means that I'll get to the point where, yeah, I can just run up to a soldier, and as you could see before, they were doing a bit of damage to me because my axe was so slow. Now it's like I just run towards them, and between my weapons, one of them's always ready to finish the kill. I just need to be careful with that. Shield bearer. It kind of annoys me. This is a really little pet peeve of mine with this game. Is that axes are weak against shields. It should be that axes would be good against shields. I need to check something. So priest, not selection. Rare list. Pack 2.enemies. Okay, yeah, that is as intended. Yeah. Okay. Do I have to go through is melee? Did I do that? Excuse me. Is melee? No, it's weapons. Yeah, okay. Okay, this will be my one. Oh no, I've already got a... I'm going to take the bow because I want the goblin launcher, and also want to test that out a bit. Yeah, like the axe should be good against shields, but it's not. Because the axe is slightly slower than the shield. One character with an axe will never be able to hurt one character with a shield. which is very counterintuitive. An axe is the best, or a hammer is the best weapon to use against someone with a shield. But, you know, that's the way the game works. Okay, we've moved to the first chunk. I can tell because of the little seam there. Don't know if that's too annoying. If that is too annoying, uninstall the game and leave a bad review. That's how it generally works. So yeah, it's trying to draw the enemy's fire away from my little horde. Okay, yep. Kind of leaning into this weapon build. Oh, and yeah, test and... Oh yeah, and I didn't fix that. Yeah, so we want to test and fix... What was it? Oh yeah, because I just need to do... If it doesn't work this time, then I need to test it and fix it. So that, like, rather than waiting for me to develop enough mana and then seeing if it works, I just need to sit down and check if it works. And yeah, I forgot to... Well, actually, I don't think it's too late because they're prefabs. I think it would still work. Okay, so if that's the case, why are they still not big? So that's not working. That's not working. I think I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening. So, time, magic, space. So yeah. So when we add space magic, this is... When we spawn a character, spawn ally, we are adding the buff here. Spawn ally. We are adding it there. So yeah, so what's happening, I think, is the character is getting this enemy buff, but then losing it straight away. So enemy buff is being added before buffs get cleared. Okay, that is going to affect balance a lot. So yeah, and yeah, the other thing I wanted to do, what was it? I wanted to go through, because yeah, that means that they should be appearing at double the size. That was the scale at this point. But the buff is getting added, and then it's being taken away. Right, so the way it works with spawn ally, so where does spawn ally occur? So spawn ally. So we are spawning it. So we go into spawn ally and then we make it, and then we give it its thing. But enemy spawner is Spawn enemy. We are making the buff and then spawning the... So we're giving it the buff, and then on spawn, what on spawn does is it removes the buff. So if I put it after, should be fine. Should be fine. Should be fine. So I mean, if it works for allies... So on spawn, so if I type on spawn, yeah, so we do on spawn, and then we give it the buff. And I believe that happens in the correct order. If there's ever a bug, then I can check and see that's not happening in the right order. So that should fix it. And then the other thing I wanted to do is go into, so the bomber appears every 4 seconds. A tier 2 friendly spawns every 4 seconds. Yeah, is that right? Okay, so yeah, they spawn at the same rate as everything else. Okay, but the Blade Master and the Chief should spawn every 4. And yeah. Okay. And so if we're spawning an enemy that is level 3 or 4, like we might want to say, okay, so a level 3 or 4 enemy, we would want to increase its health. So let's compare a Fire Witch and a Warlock. So a Fire Witch has 90 health to start with. A Warlock has 90 health to start with. So they have been homogenized, except that the Warlock is bigger. So we want our allied units to have those health values, but the enemy versions should have more. And I wonder if this would throw the game out of balance if I said, okay, no, let's make those enemy units strong. So let's go... If an enemy's doing it... So if it's level 3... then we want it to be, yeah, double the size and also double the HP, right? So it's the same as that, actually. Or 4. And rather than doing them individually, I'll just put it like this for readability, right? But that means... And let's just say, yeah, okay, that's gonna make tier 2, tier 3 and 4 enemies stronger. But to balance it, and yeah, I think we already have weakened them, so there is balance here. The thing is, once I get this right, adding another new faction, whether it's an enemy or an ally, it would be both at the same time, should just be very plug and play. Right? So I just need to make them balanced. So our wayfinder... So these don't need to be as big as this. Right? These can actually just be as big. So that's 1.5. So our wayfinder... yeah, these can be... 1.2. So these don't need to be that big because they are going to double in size. So actually, how big is a Frost Mage? 1.2. Yeah, so an allied tier 2 unit is by default 1.2 in size, right? Okay. Allied tier 2 unit is 1.2 in size. But an allied orc tier 2 unit should be... So how big is an orc? 1.5. So they can actually be 1.5. But then they're going to be too big. So what if... They are going to be too big if we do it like that. I mean, we've got... I think we had some of them at 2.5 for the really big ones. So it'd be like... The thing is, if they're too big, then enemies can't... then short range weapons won't be able to even touch them, and that we don't like that. That's awkward. Like a dagger won't be able to touch them. So tier 2 enemies. So this enemy buff thing should not actually be original, should not actually double the size. It should 1.5 it. Well, let's say 1.25. Let's say 1.2. So they're a bit bigger. Not much bigger, but a bit bigger. An orc starts at 1.5, so that'll be... Like if the orcs already are 1.2... This is getting a bit confusing, but let's say they already are 1.2. 1.2. 1.2. Alright. So the orcs already are 1.2. And so if they're an enemy tier 2... You know what? Let's just not mess with the size. After all of that. An enemy tier 2 unit should be the same size as they are if they're an allied unit. Let's just do it like that. All we do is we increase their HP. And that way, we can have our orcs, orc drummers, brawlers. They will be 1.5 as they have been, because that works. Because that works. And then these guys, tier 2 units are by default 1.2, and that goes for allied tier 2 units. But tier 2 orcs, chief, blade master, yeah, chief, blade master, let's say glutton as well, and let's say totem and tower. All of these can be 1.6 in size by default. And nothing is size 2 except for... So let's do this. That, and then enemy spawner, 9 degree looter buff. So we times its health by 4 and we give it, yeah, okay. Ugh. So you see how adding a faction, all of these little weird complicated things that can come up as a result. Right, for real this time. Let's do a run through. And so we've... Oh, okay, yeah, enemies buffs being added before... Let's get cleared. So we fixed that. Have we? Did we fix that? Yeah. We should have fixed that. We'll see how it plays out. Lightning Blade, we can sort that out later. Because I think that's going to need my brain on if I'm going to do it properly without causing other issues. That's a good tip, is if you're not up to it, don't code, honestly. Do something else, exercise, do something else that's productive. Do some drawing instead. But coding, you can really mess up your project if you do it while you're not at your best. Okay, so nerf spawn interval for tier 2 green beans. So we have done that. Blade Master. No, okay, yeah, so these come in at 4. Spawn speed, spawn interval, but these come in at 4 seconds, every 4 seconds, that's the default. But the Orc comes in every 6 seconds. The Drummer every 6 seconds because they're a bit stronger. Brawler every 6 seconds. And the Blade Master and Chief should also come in only every 6 seconds. So that it's not too OP. Only a little bit OP. Okay. Wait, I just came up with, I think it would be really fun to have a machine gun in this game. Like I said, if you combine 2 tier 2 upgrades, and if you've unlocked them, you should just get OP shit. So, black holes. If you combine, like, let's just write it down here, like explosive arrow and like meteors, you get a machine gun. But I'm just going to put machine gun there. All right. Okay, so this should be somewhat balanced. And so test and fit. Okay, before we move on, if I press M, I should have max mana. And I want to try that out. Before I do another run, I'm going to test that Orko's ultimate is working. Before, just to double check, almost there. I'll just re-import all these prefabs. Doesn't take too long. Just because every time I change them, I'm like paranoid that I can't remember what it was, but one time like it didn't update because of that. Okay. Test and fix auto Orco ultimate. That's all we're doing now, and then we're gonna see if it works. It should be a very simple case of just give him a short-term buff that increases his attack speed, like by a lot. So currently his attack speed multiplier is, let's play focused, his attack speed X is 1.6, so that 0.6 is because of long-term upgrades. Now it's 11.6. Okay, yeah, that's as intended, and then it goes away. Try that again. Okay, yeah. And maybe in his case, we won't do the big knockback effect. Because like so it's like knocks them back and then takes like a couple seconds to get to them. I mean, that's fine if he has ranged weapons, but maybe there's a couple solutions here. Let's make it so that, let's go Orco. Make it so that it lasts a bit longer. So I like the knockback. The knockback's cool. It's like raw, and then they all fly back, and then he charges at them and goes bam, 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 bam with all his weapons. Obviously, if he's got ranged weapons, that's even stronger. So 20-4. Have you noticed how many times I've been like, oh yeah, I'll just finish this run and then stop? Right. Let's finish this run and then stop. Let's see how far we can get. Let's see how balanced it is. And we have dealt with quite a lot of bugs here. And all of them were bugs, or most of them at least, were bugs that I didn't know existed before. And to be honest, that's the best kind of bug to fix. It's like, yeah, found them, fixed them, put them in a stew. Can you tell that I like Lord of the Rings? Okay. Do back up, and yeah, so once I finish with this, I'm going to back up the whole project. Let's do the bridge against the human beings at level 1 difficulty. Wish me luck. I'm getting a bit cold now. This is the kind of game where you can press play and then you have time to like... Well, oh no, I might die actually. Okay. There we go. Because the axe has a bit more range, I can actually just do this. Cool. Alright, it's more like it. Cool. Nice. Yeah, let's get a multitude of weapons so that we can start just like one-shotting them. When I say one-shot, I mean so we can start getting flawless victories on these little packs. I feel like the AoE, so they just don't worry, I'm not fixing a bug, I'm not going to stop the run, I just want to say that the axe should have a little bit more AoE. So we'll go 2.4. No, let's go two. Let's just up it by 1. Incremental. 2.2. 2.4. 2.6. And then straight up to 3 is fine. Okay. Cool. Right, so if anyone's watching, or if anyone's watching after the fact, I think it would be cool to have some ideas for who the Orc Chief should be, basically. Like, what kind of character, what should they do? I mean, yeah, this guy with an axe is good, but it's a reference to another game. Yeah, any ideas about what the Orc heroes should be would be fun. Okay, let's get Chain Lightning. Yeah, that's good. Yep, that shield bearer was nice and healthy. So the shield bearers and the priests seem much less like menacing than the orcs. So fighting against them is like doesn't feel quite as scary. It's like a other tier 2 unit. But I guess what makes the humans scary is when you see a bunch of them that all do different things. Like, oh no, here's a witch, some witches and wizards and rangers. Like it's colourful. Like, maybe the Berserker should be the sort of tier 2 unit, right? The level 2 unit. So instead, so like every instance of... So we would go in here, and we would say Berserker. So that would be... Actually, that would be the Shield Bearer. And the Berserker would be... the so like we'll just swap Shield Bearer and Berserker basically. So every time, so we would just go through every time we see Shield Bearer, give it Berserker. Every time, yes. Consider. Don't worry, I'm not going to do this now. Consider swapping Berserker and Shield Bearer in enemy spawner, because that just might be like a big menacing Berserker with a hammer. Is a bit more scary than a big menacing guy with, or a big pacifist guy with a shield. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. Yeah, see, seeing all those, seeing that red, green, it's sort of, yeah, that's cool. All right, let's do crit rate. Nice. Yeah, this is good. And yeah, the enemies have like more health now. So it's like that, and that's another thing. Like, so if you see an orc in a gang of goblins, you know that orc is a big deal, right? That is going to be the tough one. But if you're an orc looking at a bunch of humans, you don't know which ones are the scary ones, right? Like, they all look from an orc's point of view. So like, orcs are scary because they're big, but humans are scary because you don't know which one is the scary one, right? You can't judge humans by how they look. But you can kind of judge orcs by how they look, because you'll be looking for the biggest, muscliest one. So many like random things like this I hadn't really considered. Let's get some survivability. I think Orko, this character with lots of melee with lots of weapons, It's like, yeah, actually, it's a good idea to get like rations and armor. It's not boring. We don't want to go fully offensive. We can go a bit defensive because, yeah. Okay, so let's keep maxing out our weapons. So far, so good. Yeah, you really do not want to get caught by that frostbolt. But yeah, once your pack of shamans comes in. Shaman? I'm not going to do that joke again. It would be a real shame if if I had spelt the names wrong. Okay. Ooh. So now we could actually get some healing going even as an orc because we have crits. But why heal when you can just summon another one? I think Holy Crit, buff Holy Crit. Make it heal more, because that's just, this is plainly better. There's our looter. The looter should at least be like, yeah, he's bigger. But not bigger enough. Wait, sorry about this. I want to see that looter. And so he is 1.2 in size. So I think that's because looter buff, yeah, transformed at local scale is ×2. Make him nice and big. Same with the looter. And when we return it, it's just going to original size. Good. Okay. Fixed. Oh, blue chest. Very nice. I guess luck is pretty good for orcs as well. Because chicken is going to be their only form of healing. And yeah, for a moment, we get a respite from having ranged enemies in the enemy packs. Which is nice. Okay, I need to make sure to move with my horde. Oh, lovely chest. Oh, please, can I get that chest? Yes. Nice. Chicken. Get that white wizard. Nice. They swarmed him. Nice. Yeah, I'm loving playing as the orcs. Playing as the green beans. It's a very nice change of pace. Let's go get that pink gem. It's worth backtracking a bit for. And yeah, I'm just going all in on the weapons. Oh, get that lord. Lovely, doing lots of damage. Good, good, good. Summoning units every time I crit, which is nice. Well, not every time I crit, but there's a chance to when I crit. Get the knight. Yeah, it's kind of more menacing somehow when you've got these tier 2, these combined enemy units, these tier 2 units spawning. Like they're not huge, but they're scary because of what they are rather than their size. Okay, let's go! Wow! Okay, that's really fun. That's really fun. Yeah, just heroing through these guys. Okay. Are we overpowered? Get the bard. No, I don't think so. Look, we haven't reached critical mass with our army. This is great. Okay, no, no. No, I need to go where I'm needed. Let's rock high! Okay, yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up, backing up. Oh no, there's a fire witch. I need to level up. Oh, okay. Alright, 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 alright. Let's get some armor. I think I'm not going to make it. I could cheat. But I think I just need to be a bit more careful. Get the priest. Okay. Yeah, see, I have failed at getting any combo upgrades by the 7-minute mark. But it does seem a little bit stacked against me. But before I judge playing as the orcs too harshly, I should play as the humans again and see. Because there's a few things that I've done that is changing the balance for both sides. Do you see how difficult game design is, actually? Especially for a game like this. I mean, I did this on purpose. I like making this game because as far as my job, which is balancing things and making things work smoothly and figuring out the best way to fix these problems, this is a meaty challenge. This is a big puzzle. So I need to think about balancing. I need to play as a run. I need to play as the humans on that same level, under the same conditions, and see if I steamroll it. And also see if I play as the orcs on that same level in the same conditions, and see if I just do a bit better that time because I get better picks, get better combos. So yeah, I'd say this was a good day. I think we got to the point where it is now working. Got our orc hero. We got our... So yeah, added new... Let me log some of these things. Added new hero. Fix some major bugs. Added new hero. Got the... Well, yeah, the big one is the factions are working. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate it. There's 2 of you in here right now. Thank you, and there'll be more watching later, so I really appreciate that. Please do check out the game. It's free, and the demo is free. And yeah, really appreciate it.